Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's little yoga practice thing. I'm back on my channel this week doing my usual stuff, no metal yoga implied here. And I've named this practice this week Loving Stretch because I wanted to bring a practice that was more focused around flexibility. Now don't worry, if you're not of the flexible nature, this is not a problem. I'm going to take care of you. It's just basically for me personally, when I find this work around deep stretching combined with strengthening poses, like a lot of stuff with the legs and like the core muscles, stuff like that, I really tend to get this euphoric rush after my yoga sessions. So I was hoping that I could create a still beginner friendly practice, including this kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys can feel really refreshed and stretched out and comfortable in your own skin afterwards. So to anyone who hasn't been here before, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yoga is such a powerful tool for all of us, especially in these times when things are so unstable and things are really oppressive because stuff that's out of our control. So it's more important than ever that we take really good care of ourselves, because if we take care of ourselves, we will have much more to give to the people around us, which I believe at least is the ultimate goal of this life. So on that very heavy note, we're going to start today's practice in a seated position. So it can be any way you want, basically. You can even start in a chair if that feels good for you, depending on your energy level today. You can start in a seated pose. You can start sitting on a pillow. You can start on your shins. So I'm going to choose to start in Sukhasana, so the easy pose. So basically just a cross-legged position. You can also find like a lotus position, half lotus, whatever feels good to you. Just like take a moment to get comfortable and like really make a choice for yourself on what you want to, the way you want to start this practice. So right away, we're going to start here, lifting up to the spine. So you want to think that you're pushing into the ground through the back body. Through the front body, you want to think that you're lifting up, opening the chest up, even if we're sitting down. So yoga is more or less a practice around manipulating the spine and strengthening and lengthening the spine. So we always want to keep an integrity in the spine, always trying to keep a nice lift, especially in like standing poses, seated poses like this. Just try to think that you have a flow of energy coming up from the ground through your body up to the top of your head. On the way down, it goes back down your back body and grounding into the sit bones. Little 2 points that are pushing into the ground. So in addition to the spine, yoga also uses a super powerful tool, which is our breath. So we're going to start right away by moving the breath from our chest down towards the diaphragm, down into our stomach, and see if we can start right away to deepen the breath here. This is not super easy, so don't get discouraged if it doesn't work right away. Just think about moving the energy down towards the diaphragm instead of keeping a more shallow breath from the chest. I invite you to close the eyes here a little bit. Find a soft gaze if closing the eyes didn't feel right for you today. And we're just going to take a few seconds here to breathe together. If you're familiar with the term Ujjayi breath, also known as ocean breath, feel free to start using this here to really focus on the sound of your breath. For all of you who might not be familiar with this term, Ujjayi basically just means to create this little tension at the very back of your throat, this little restriction here, to try to create like an ocean wave sound. So on the inhale, the wave is building, and on the exhale it crashes and falls. Through practices like meditation and yoga, we basically focus on the present moments and being aware. So I invite you to really use the time of this practice to listen to your own body, to really feel out every little movement. Listen to what your body is telling you today. If something hurts, then back off. If you feel like you need a bit more, then go ahead. Just listen to yourself. Your body is your own guide. I'm merely here to help you set an example, but that does not mean that you're supposed to copy me. Yoga is a very personal journey, and it's different in every single body. Let's all take a deep breath in together. And exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Out through the mouth. Let it go. One last time. Inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Bring your palms together at your heart, meeting in front of your heart space here. And on your next exhale, let your head, forehead drop down towards your fingertips, bowing, chin towards the chest. Take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Think of a place you want to send the energy that you're cultivating today. It can be out into the world in general. You can do like me and you can send all of this energy to someone very special in your life. You can set an intention that you want to move with love, to be aware, or just to move. Just find a little something that resonates with you, something positive, and acknowledge it. Inhale to come back up to center. Palms open up toward the sky. You can open your eyes. Welcome back. Even if this session in particular is going to be focused around deepening the stretch and working a bit towards more flexibility, the breath is still one of our most powerful tools. Now, deepening the breath is not only good to calm our mind, to calm the nervous system, it's also very good to get in new fresh oxygen, to transport around our blood system so that all our internal organs are functioning on a higher level. So yoga is good for the physical body as well as the energetic body. We're going to start here today. Still lifting up through the spine. And you're just going to bring a little bit of movement into the neck. Actually, you can place your hands in whatever way you want. I just like to put the palms open here because you're like receiving, when you have the palms open to the world. You're going to start drawing little circles with your neck here. Now just be mindful. If your range of motion in your neck isn't this big, you can also just stay here, like drawing little half circles with your nose. Just feel it out. And please be mindful of yourself. You can reverse your circle whenever you feel satisfied. Now, because this practice is focused around deeper stretch, we're going to be moving. We're going to actually raise and drop the tempo a little bit throughout the class. So we can focus especially on a few poses. Come back to center. You're going to inhale, you're going to send your arms out in front of you. Make sure that your arm hair is in socket in the elbow, shoulder sockets, sorry. And on your exhale, bring your right arm across your body. So you're stretching out the shoulders here. You can find a mudra if you want. Also keep your arm bent as much as you need. And still breathing. Starting slow here, warming up the body. And on the exhale, you can release. Inhale, send your arms back out in front of yourself. Shoulder in socket before you bring it across the body. Other side. And you can release. You're going to drop your left ear over your left shoulder. Stretching out the neck here again. Stretching out the nice trapeze muscle here. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can bring your left fingertips to your temple. Not pushing, but just like letting gravity do its job. If you need even more, you can stretch out the arm for a deeper stretch all the way through the back here. Breathing deep. And on your exhale, come back up to center and other side. Right ear over right ear, right ear over right ear, right ear over right shoulder. Bring the fingertips up. Palm gently resting on your temple. And bringing the fingertips out if you want a bit more. Nice exhale, come back up to center. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together here. And prepare for what we call cobbler's pose, Baddha. So this one, once again, if you have your legs up here, no problem whatsoever. Just sit here, just keep a nice, like, tall spine. If you're sitting up tall, nice. You can grab onto your ankles, or you can also bring your palms together and bring around your toes. The thing is just keeping the spine straight here and opening through the hips. So the inner thighs are rotating up towards the ceiling. And we breathe. The breath is also a powerful tool to help us focus on the here and now. And during this session, we want to try to just put what has happened in the past behind us, what happened earlier today behind us, and not think about what comes next, but just be here together, breathing, moving. You can inhale, look up towards the sky, and exhale, you're going to bend forward. You can bring the elbows in here this time. Rounding through the spine, coming down towards the ground. Once again, if you don't reach your toes, if you don't even get close, it's not a problem. We're just manipulating the spine here, staying mindful, opening the hips. Great. On your next inhale, look out in front of you, and on the exhale, slowly activate the core to roll up through the spine. Bring your hands to close your knees, and come back to or into Sukhasana, easy pose. So we're going to do the coffee grinder like we've done before, like in lack of a better name. We just inhale, slide just forward, and on the exhale, round through. This one is so good for internal organ massage, which I know sounds a little bit weird, but it's really, really good for the digestive system. Just feel it out here. Inhale to come forward, and exhale to round through. On your next exhale, just stay in this like rounded posture, just for a few breaths. Great, you can inhale to reverse your circle, come forward once more, And on the exhale, same thing, rounding through. It's like you can really massage both the internal organs, also the spine here. You feel like the skin of the back stretch. Being mindful, slowing it down. Rest circle, inhale forward. And exhale, you're going to round to the spine and you're going to stay here for a few breaths again. And generally, on the inhale, we try to lengthen the spine usually. And on the exhale, we try to relax the shoulders, relax the body, like let go of any tension. You can keep this in mind throughout the practice. Inhale to come back up. You're going to bring your left heel in this time. Excuse the kids outside, at home practice. That's how it is. Keeping it real. So you're going to bring your left heel in towards your pelvic area, and you're going to send your right leg out. So now there's no need to go like too wide here. Again, you're at home, like feel it out in your own body. The point is just to still be able to keep a straight, nice, tall spine, where again, this leg is activated. You're flexing the foot, and we're going to come into what's called head to knee pose. So you're going to inhale, reach up towards the sky, lifting up in the torso. On the exhale, you're going to twist towards your right leg. Then you're going to bend, think up, and then over as you bend forward towards that right leg. Once again, if this is where you're at, that is cool. Just try to ground down through this left leg, rotating up towards the ceiling. If you can come down a bit further, please do, but be mindful here. Always trying to lengthen through the spine, bending through the hip here, and coming into head to knee pose. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths once again, stretching out the side body here, stretching out the lower back. If you need a little bit more, you can bring your left fingertips over to the right side of your right foot and stretch, even working to bring the torso, twisting it up towards the ceiling. We'll just feel it out once again. Shoulders should be relaxed and away from the ears. Great. Inhale to look forward, straightening through the spine, and exhale, activating the core to roll up through the spine until we come all the way back up. Left fingertips go down. Inhale to reach the fingertips up overhead, and then up and over as we come into a side body stretch. So this is to counteract the stretch we just did on the left side. Once again, you can be here, you can be down here. Just feel it out. Great. The next exhale, come back up again. You're going to send your left feet out here as well. Come into this kind of V shape. Once again, no need to go like super wide with the legs. Just feel it out. And we're going to come into what's called pancake pose here. So you're going to inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. You want to keep both feet flexed and activated. So you're pushing into your ankles. And on the exhale, you want to once again think that you're bending from your hip creases and you're coming forward. So once more, if you're here, this is cool. Just keep the spine straight. That's the whole point here. If you can come down to your forearms, that's great. Or if you can come all the way down to the floor, or even like flat, like real pancake, that's cool. Remember to activate by flexing those toes. We're protecting the knees when we do so. And just breathe deep. Now, when we're working on flexibility, sometimes there's a bit like too much going on, and we can really use the breath to calm down everything through this. So if there's a time when you feel like this is a bit much, either back off or try to breathe through it. Inhale, just lengthen the spine, look forward. And exhale, you're going to roll through the spine, coming back up again slowly. Great. Going to bring your right foot in this time, right heel in towards the pelvic area. Once again, we always want to create like a good base before we move into the pose. So make sure that you have like a good foundation here. You're going to inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. And exhale, you're going to twist towards that left leg, flexing to the left foot, and thinking up and over as you come into head to knee pose on the other side. Same thing here. Breathing deep. Don't push your limits too much here. If it feels like a deep stretch, that's fine. If you feel pain, please back off, because pain is never, it's the body's way to tell you that you're doing something wrong. So pain is not what we want here. Inhale to look forward, and exhale to draw the core in, rolling up through the spine. Once again, I'm going to send those right toes out, coming back to our V shape, inhaling up, flexing through both feet. As you exhale, tilt from your hip points to come down towards the ground. Pancake pose. Breathing deep here. Stick with it. Right. You're going to inhale to look forward. And exhale, slowly roll up through the spine using the core. Good job, guys. We're going to bring the feet together, and you're going to make your ways onto all fours. Move slowly. Be attentive when you move. We're going to come into tabletop position, so on all fours. If you happen to have problems with your wrists here, you can come onto your fists. That works just as well. The point is just to stack your bones, so shoulders over wrists, and you want to try to keep your knees under your hip points. You're going to push away from the yoga mat as you inhale. Drop your belly down, look forward. Cow pose. Exhale, drawing the navel up towards the spine. Engaging the core, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, pushing away from the mat, cat pose. Inhale, dropping the belly, cow pose. Exhale, rounding through the spine, cat pose. Inhale, dropping the belly one more time. Exhale, engaging the core. Cat pose. Great. So now on your inhale, you're going to come back to neutral spine here, tabletop position. You're going to curl your toes under. You're going to inhale to look forward, and exhale, you're going to start lifting your hips up towards the sky and coming into downward facing dog. So this being our first down dog of the day, take a moment here to stretch out your feet. Maybe walk it, pedaling the feet back and forth, pushing into the hands, pushing into all fingertips here. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Next inhale, you're going to start walking up towards your hands, crisscrossing the feet. Once again, very humbling pose. Just do your best. And land in forward fold. So, same thing, first forward fold of the day. So you're just going to feel it out here, maybe pedal the feet here as well. Grab the elbows. Back and forth. Maybe shake the head a little bit. You know what's right here, so just take a moment to give your body what it needs. Then you're going to inhale, trace the fronts of your legs. And you're going to stop right at your knee, under your knee this time. And you're going to straighten your spine here. So we're doing halfway lift, but we're not lifting up fully. We're just stopping right under the knee. Lengthen the spine, pulling those lower ribs in. On the exhale, you're going to roll down again.
Bend your knees very generously here. And inhale, you're going to roll all the way up to standing.
And there you go. So as I said, we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit. We wanted to start slow and loving and starting the stretch already. We're going to move forward with good old sun salutations here. So we're going to do the traditional hatha sun salutation. So same thing as I've done the previous weeks. If you're just joining now, we're going to do one round together, left, right, slower, so you can get the kind of the drift of it. And then we're going to do 2 more rounds, left, right, in a faster, more vinyasa style. So each inhale and exhale triggers a movement. So basically bring your palms together at your heart space. Your feet are firmly planted under your hips here. All 4 corners of each foot is rooting into the ground. Nice energy from the front body up and grounding through the back body down. And then let's flow together. You're going to inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Bring a little back bend. And on the exhale, palms go together and they come down towards the ground.
On the inhale, send your right toes back. Right knee goes down, look forward. Hold your breath as you step your left foot back to meet the right, plank pose, pushing away from the mat. Exhale, knees go down, pelvis goes up towards the sky, butt up towards the sky.
Lower down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, push forward, come up, cobra, pushing into the ground. And on the exhale, curl the toes under and come into downward facing dog. On the inhale, right foot goes up and steps up between your hands. Left knee down, look forward. On the exhale, step your left toes up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Bring a back bend if you want it. And exhale, we go right and back down again. Inhale to step the left toes back this time. Left knee goes down, look forward.
Retain the breath as you step the right toes back, plank pose.
Exhale, bring your knees down towards the ground, tilting the pelvis up, chest down, chin down. Inhale, push forward, come up, cobra. On the exhale, push up and back into downward facing dog. The next inhale, lift your left toes up and step them up between your palms. Right knee down, look forward. And on the exhale, step your right toes up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, back bend. And exhale, hands come back down to the heart. We stay here, we breathe just for a couple of breaths. Take the time to notice how this made you feel. Feel the energy moving around the body. Maybe the energy has shifted since we started. Just be aware. And then let's continue. Let's flow. Inhale, send your arms up towards the sky. Back bend. Exhale, down towards the ground.
Inhale, right toes go back.
Knee down, look forward.
Retain the breath as you step back to plank.
Exhale, knees down, pelvis up, chest down, chin down. Inhale, forward, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Look forward. Exhale, step the left toes up towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. And exhale, come right back down again. Inhale, left toes go back. Look forward. Retain the breath. You step those right toes back, plank pose. Exhale, knees down. Chest down, chin down. Inhale, slide forward, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes go up, step up. And exhale, right toes meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands down, back to the heart. We stay here for a few breath cycles. We have one more round to go together. Just notice how you're feeling. Feel the blood rushing through your body. And here we go. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, back bend. Exhale, come down to the ground. Inhale, right toes go back. Right knee, look forward. Retain the breath as you step back to plank pose. Exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, slide forward, cobra. Exhale, push up to downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes go up and step up. Look forward. Exhale, left toes meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, back bend. And exhale, right back down again we go. Inhale, left toes back this time. Forward. Exhale, retain your breath as you step back to plank. Exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes goes up this time. Stepping up, look forward. Now the exhale, right toes join the left. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, back bend. And exhale, hands back down to the heart. Woo. My hair is already crazy, that's a good sign. Take a moment here to fix your t-shirt or your trousers or anything. And otherwise, just breathe. You're going to inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, stretching through the torso. And on the exhale, you're going to bend through the knees as you fall down towards the ground, forward fold. Breathe deep. Maybe take a moment here once again to pedal up the feet, shake through the neck, bend your knees as much as you need here. Good, you're going to inhale. Drag your hands to right under your knees. Straighten that spine, halfway lift. And on the exhale, you're going to roll down. You're going to inhale, plant your palms, and you're going to step your left toes back, dropping the left knee down, just like we did before. So, we're preparing for crescent lunge, as it's called. So basically, we want to keep front knee over front ankle. We want to lift up from the pelvic floor, keeping a nice activated leg, front leg and back leg. So you want to have a nice lift instead of just dumping into this hip. You want to keep a nice integrity lifting up. When you feel you have it, you can bring the arms up overhead. Opening the chest. Shoulder blades coming towards each other in the back. Next inhale, I want you to lift even more up and out of the pose. And on the exhale, you're going to twist towards the right. So here, once again, if you're here, no problem. If you can bring it all the way out, keeping a nice stable base here. Make sure this knee doesn't go like too wonky because you don't want to cause any extra strain on it. Great. On your next inhale, you're going to send your left fingertips up towards the sky. Right fingertips goes down. You stretch. And on the exhale, you're going to cartwheel down towards the ground. Good. On the inhale, you're going to look forward, open the chest forward. On the exhale, you're going to start dragging your right hip back in space, straightening through this right leg. Now, once again, you can stay here, keeping the knee bent as much as you want, or you can bring a deeper stretch by sending your fingertips out in front of you as you straighten as much as you can through this leg and fold down towards the leg. I'm gonna stay here for a few breaths. Flexing through that right foot. Great. Inhale, you're going to roll through the front foot, look forward, come back to like a lunge pose. You're going to lift the back knee up. And on the exhale, you're going to step your right toes back, come into plank pose. We have been here before. You're going to inhale, shift forward. You're going to lower down halfway, so elbows stay in towards the body. You're going to flip your feet, and you're going to inhale, come up into upward facing dog. So strong legs here. And on the exhale, you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling and come back into downward facing dog. So that's what we did there, was like a chaturanga upward facing dog vinyasa flow, just to strengthen the body a little bit further. Just take your time here to stretch out the body a little bit. Maybe find some stillness in your dog. On your next inhale, you're going to slide your right toes up towards the ceiling. Now they don't have to go high up, they can just be parallel with your hip. And on the exhale, you're going to shift forward. You're going to bring that knee up towards your chest, and you're going to place it behind your wrists. And you're going to come on to your hips here. So you want to keep that left leg straight out in front of you. This right leg depends on how open you're in your hips. I'm like semi-open, so I can't really put my leg completely parallel to the top of the mat. If you can, please do. If not, you can join me in keeping this heel a little bit closer to the body. You can also lift the right hip up on something. Just make sure that you're in like a level position. So the point here is to basically keep both hips pointing towards the front of the mat. This is called pigeon pose. So you can stay here, straightening through the spine. If you have the core and the back muscles, you can straighten out a bit further, coming a bit higher up. You're not supposed to feel any distress in the lower back, so be mindful. Keeping the right toes flexed. Remember to breathe. On your next exhale, if it feels good to you, you can start walking your hands out as you slowly start to lower down towards the ground. And you can come on to your palms here. You can also stack your wrists if it's a bit too much to come all the way down. You can even stay on your forearms, lifted here. Just think about, if you do come onto your forearms, make sure your elbows are under your shoulders. Otherwise, take a moment to rest here, all the way down towards the ground. Making sure that you're still not falling into the right hip, but keeping some kind of parallel line between the hips. Symmetry, that's what I was looking for. Symmetry in the hips. And breathe. On the next inhale, lift your head up, look forward. And on the exhale, you're going to activate your core as you slowly start to roll up once more. So now you're going to come onto that right hip. So this might be already a lot for you. So if that's the case, then you can just stay here. You can even stay here. You can even move into a child's pose if you want, just resting. Just feel out in your body. Otherwise, if you want a deeper stretch, you can try to twist a bit more towards the left. You're going to bend that left knee, and you're going to bring your left toes into your left hand. So this is our first best step right here. So you can just stay here. If this is much too much already, just stay here, flexing through this foot, pushing your left leg into your left hand. If you want to join me for a bit further stretch, you can add the bind, how we call it. Pushing that left toes into your left elbow. You want to keep the spine straight here, no matter what we're doing. And we want to breathe deep. Don't worry, this is the weirdest pretzel pose I'm going to ask you to join me in today. It's just such a lovely stretch and this opposing force of the leg pushing into the elbow. On your next exhale, you're going to release with control. You don't just fling our leg down, just make sure you are mindful. You're going to inhale, strengthen through the spine. Place your wrists under your shoulders. And on the exhale, you're going to push up into plank, move the hips back up, and come into your downward facing dog with the right toes lifted towards the sky. This is what we call three-legged dog. And on the exhale, you're going to shift forward. You're going to step your right toes up between your palms, and then the left is going to join. So we're back in forward fold. So we're going to do the whole little sequence we did on the other side as well. So we're working on stretching out the right hip and the right leg. Now we're going to move to the left. So take a second here to find something that feels good. Be shaking out the neck, stretching through the feet, the legs. Such a good pose for the lower back, this one. We put so much pressure into this lower back lumbar spine area. You want to think that you're bending from the hip creases here to really straighten through the spine, giving that part of the back some love. We're going to inhale, lift up halfway, stopping under the knee, straightening through the spine here. And on the exhale, you're going to drop down again. On your inhale, you're going to step your right toes back this time, dropping the right knee down, just like before. Now, same thing on this side. I want you to think about the base of your pose before anything else. So make sure that that back leg feels good. You can walk it back if you want a deeper stretch. But make sure that your front knee is over your front ankle. It must be a little bit, the foot can be a little bit ahead of the knee, but not behind, because that's when we can actually cause damage to the knee. So, activate both thigh muscles, both legs, to lift up out of the pose a bit. And on the inhale, you can bring your arms up overhead, pushing into that back leg. And then lifting up, opening the chest. So the back body is what's working here, and the front body is staying soft and supple. Breathing deep. On the inhale, you're going to lift up a little bit out of the pose. On the exhale, you're going to open towards the left this time. So once again, you want to think, if you're here, this is totally fine. If you can twist further, but just feel it out in your body. You're going to inhale, drop the left fingertips down, and the right fingertips go up, stretching up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, you're going to roll back down to the ground. Look forward. On your next exhale, you're going to drag that left hip back in place. Once again, bringing the fingertips either alongside your knee or out in front, depending on how much stretch you want. And when you find your place, you can exhale to forward fold towards that left knee. Once again, there's no pressure coming all the way down to the knee. The point is for you to have a journey in your own body. Great, and on the inhale, roll through that foot, come forward, lift up the back knee, plant your palms, and exhale, step those left toes back to meet your right. Plank pose. You're going to inhale, shift forward on your toes. And on the exhale, you're going to lower down halfway, flip your toes, and inhale, strong legs to come up, open the chest, upward facing dog. And on the exhale, the hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Yay! Take a moment here to feel it out. Finding stillness, pedaling it out. Maybe tick-tocking the hips a little bit. It can feel really nice as well. And you're going to inhale. You're going to shift the weight into that right foot. Bringing the left toe up. And on the exhale, you're going to shift forward back into plank, bringing that left knee up and then behind your wrists. Landing down on the hips again. So right leg is straight out behind us. Left leg is in front of us with whatever, depending on how open your hips are. You can either put the leg parallel to your mat here. You can keep it a bit more bent like mine. Just make sure that you're flexing through the left foot. Pigeon pose on the other side. So you're either here, or you can lift up a bit further, making sure there's no stress in the lower back here. Keeping that core activated. And breathe. On your next exhale, slowly start to walk your hands out. Come down towards the ground. Slow and nice. So once again, you come onto your forearms here. Your upper body is actually in the Sphinx pose. Pressing on your elbows. Or you can come all the way down towards the ground. Resting on the leg. Making sure that the hips are still symmetrical here. Great. Inhale to look forward, lift your head. And exhale, activate the core as you slowly start to roll up again. Great, good job, guys. We're going to again shift onto that left butt cheek a little bit. And you're going to either stay here. This is already much too much. You can just stay here. Just keeping your fingertips out and keeping a nice straight spine. Otherwise, you can keep flexing the left toes as you bend that right knee and grab onto it with your right palm. Now you want to keep your spine straight, as always. This is already good. You're pushing with your leg into your hand. There's an opposing force here. If you want more, you can add the bind. Bring your palms together. And creating this like lock with your hands, with your foot pushing into your right elbow. It's really good. Remember to breathe. And on your next exhale, gently release with control. You're going to plant your palms down. You're going to lift the back knee up. And you're going to lift yourself up and send your hips back. Left toes up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. You're going to bring your left toes back down to the ground. This is our last down dog of the practice, so if there's something you need here, please take it. This is the last chance. You're going to inhale, shift forward into plank pose, and exhale, bring the knees down together, and slowly lower back down onto your heels. Coming into child's pose. Painting the mat with your palms as you bring them back. Letting the shoulders rest, falling down towards the ground. Now, if this isn't a great resting pose for you, you can also sit on a pillow here. You can stay on your shins. You can come back to Sukhasana, like a cross-legged seat. Just find something that gives you a little sense of peace. I like to use child's pose because, I don't know, there's something comforting about just being a little ball like this, as well as putting pressure on this crown chakra, the third eye that we call it in yoga. It's a very important center, energy center in the body. So just take a moment here to let everything go. Maybe closing your eyes.
Breathing deep. For every exhale, feel your shoulders coming close to the ground. If you're seated, feel your shoulders dropping down and relaxing. Maybe massage your forehead a little bit, moving a little gently back and forth. Again, there's something about putting pressure on this point between the eyebrows. It's a powerful point on the body, energetically speaking. And that's great. Inhale, lift your sweet head, look forward. Bring your palms back up in front of you. And exhale, you're going to push back up into all fours. You're going to slowly wake your way onto your sweet butt. Sorry, I couldn't help it. We're going to start making our way down towards the ground onto our back for the last little part of this practice. So we're just going to find a quick moment here to straighten out the spine, straighten out the legs, flexing through the feet, pushing up and out of the ground. Dandasana, staff pose or stick pose. You're going to bring your arms out in front of you. You're going to interlace your fingers. Find this like steeple grip. On the exhale, you're going to contract your core using the core muscles here to slowly lower yourself down towards the ground. So you're going to do this in control as much as you can, not letting go until you're all the way down on the ground. So you guys just continue doing that as I turn. I don't want to disappear behind my bookshelf. At home yoga practice, that's how it is. So make your way onto our backs here. And straight away, you're going to bring your knees up into your chests. Maybe find a bit of movement here. It feels good. Again, it's a bit the same sensation as with child pose that, you're just like tightening into this like little entity, this little ball. Some kind of safety in that. Just massaging the spine here. Maybe drawing circles with the knees if you want to lighten the core a bit more here. So we need a little bit of core exercise right at the end. You're going to bring your right knee into your chest. You're going to send your left toes up towards the sky, flexing through the foot there. And on the exhale, you're going to drop it down. You're going to let it hover right over the ground. You're going to inhale, lift your shoulders and head up with the ground. You're going to bring your nose towards your knee. It doesn't have to come close, it's more the intention here. Feeling the core turn on. And on the exhale, you're going to drop down. Everything come down. Take a moment here to maybe roll through your right ankle here. So rolling it one way or the other. I also advise you to open your hip a little bit. So bring that knee up towards your right shoulder, maybe. Just opening up, finding a bit of movement. This feels good here. You're going to inhale. You're going to straighten your spine length. And on the exhale, you're going to start twisting that right knee over towards the left. Opening up towards the left, coming into a supine twist. So I have really limited space here, so I'm just going to keep my elbow bent. Looking towards the left. This is one of my favorite poses to cool down. That's just because twisting of the spine is so healthy for the spine. It's so good for the immune system. Manipulate the spinal fluids. Just breathe here. You can even give yourself a little pet on the right leg. A lot of people are like, hell no, that ain't happening. But I don't know. Sometimes it can be calming and nice.
Great. On the next exhale, bring your right knee back up to your chest and bring the left one in to meet the right. We're in our little egg shape here again. Once again, finding some nice movements. It feels good. And you're going to bring your left knee in toward your chest. Inhale, you're going to bring your right foot flexed up towards the sky. And you're going to start dropping that right leg down towards the ground. So right before you reach the floor, you're going to let it hover. Feel that the whole abdominal wall turn on. Just feel the nice energy, the prana that's created at the very end of this practice. Inhale, lift your sweet head and shoulders off the ground. Knee towards nose, or nose towards knee rather. Welcome to shake here. And on your next exhale, just release everything back down again. Same thing on this side. We're going to take a moment to work through this hip a little bit. Bringing that left knee up towards the left shoulder. Rotating through that hip ball socket. Ball joint is what I'm looking for. Opening it up. The hips carry a lot of emotional weight, so sometimes when you work in a practice where you are working with a lot of hip opening poses, as they're called, you can feel a little bit vulnerable. So if this has happened to you today, then just acknowledge it. Don't feel silly or anything. It's something that can happen. It's very, very natural. Inhale to lengthen through the spine here. Any moment of length here before you exhale. Let that left knee fall down towards the ground, opening up to the right this time. So what I should have said before is you want to keep both your shoulders on the ground here. Doesn't matter if this knee comes actually down to the ground. The main point is to keep both shoulders on the ground, relaxed. And then just let the gravity do its thing. Once again, you can give yourself a little pet. A very trivial way to practice self-love. Breathing deep. And on your next exhale, gently activate the core to come back up to center. I'm going to do just one last pose here before we say goodbye, like a real pose. And it's one that I know is a very love-hate relationship for people, so bear with me. If this is not for you, you can just stay here. You can even move into Shavasana. If not, and you feel brave and want to join me, please bring your feet up towards the ceiling. We're going to come into happy baby pose. The point here is, once again, we're opening the hips. We're drawing basically the knees down towards the ground. So you can be here, you can be grabbing onto your pant leg, if this is already enough for you. Shoulders on the ground. You can have the inside of the feet, or you can come to the outside, whatever feels good to you. So same thing here, we have an opposing force. We have the feet pushing up towards the ceiling as our hands are drawing them down towards the ground. You're often working with balancing forces in yoga, just like in life in general, pretty much. Opening through the hips. You find some movement if it feels good to you. Sorry, I'm getting so zen out. Maybe stretching out the legs a little bit. That's right. Stretching through the spine. That's really good. On your next exhale, you can let go and let your feet come back down to the ground. And just take a little moment here to let your knees fall in towards each other. Feet are placed at the edges of your mat. And just notice how you feel. Feel how the ground is supporting you here. Release your arms down to the ground. And you're going to start windshield wipering the legs here. So we've done this a few times before, so you probably already know what I'm going to say by now, but Slowly let your feet slide down towards the end of your mat as you keep moving, massaging through the bottom here and also through the hip joints. Slowly back and forth until you make your way all the way down to the bottom of your mat and come into Shavasana, corpse pose, corpse pose. So you're going to lift your chest up and you're going to bring your shoulder blades together behind. Always open your chest here. And I invite you to bring your feet out as wide as your yoga mat. Arms out as well by your side. And close your eyes. This is where we're ending today, my friends. So take this last moment to really calm yourself. Breathe to calm the mind, calm the nervous system, energize the internal organs, bringing new oxygen around. And just be. Just for a few more moments. Really notice your body. Feel it out. Notice if there's any difference from when we first started this practice together. Notice the difference in energy level. Maybe the breath has changed. Maybe your mind has changed. Just stay aware. Every time we step on the yoga mat, we're practicing self-love, basically. No matter if that's what it seems like or if you want to acknowledge it or not. Just by showing up for yourself and taking this time to be with yourself, to breathe, to move, you are cultivating positivity. You are cultivating love. And you're cultivating light for yourself. All of this is not only good for ourselves, but cultivating so much positivity brings light to others. I want you to gently start to wiggle your fingertips here. Start moving your hands just a little bit. And on your next inhale, bring your palms up to kiss in front of your heart space, just like we started sitting down today. Take a moment here to reconnect with what you found at the beginning of this practice. Your intention. And take a moment once again to use all this positivity, love, and light that you've cultivated, that we have cultivated together here today, and send it to someone, to something, to everyone. On your next inhale, bring your palms up between your eyebrows to the third eye, as I already mentioned. as you keep breathing, just for a few more moments here, take this time to be grateful. First and foremost, be grateful for the time that you took for yourself today. There's nothing quite as beautiful as that. Be grateful for your body. Be grateful for everything your body allows you to do, everything it allows you to experience, to learn while in this human place. Last but not least, take a moment here to be grateful for everyone in your life. I honestly believe that we're not much without the people in our lives. That our journey is very much defined by everyone that we share it with. So take a moment here to send some pure love to the special people in your life. I know I'm doing that, at least at this moment. And next exhale, slowly slide your palms all the way back down to your heart. I'm extremely grateful for you people that follow me here in my practices every weekend. This was supposed to be, first and foremost, just a personal practice, but I'm so grateful that I can share this with you guys. So thank you for showing up for yourselves and for me. The greatest in me acknowledges the greatest in you, and I humbly offer to you all. Namaste. If time allows for it, you can stay here a few moments. Or you can slowly join me, very slowly moving into like a fetal position. Whatever side feels good to you. And just stay here a few moments. On your next exhale, use your arms, your legs to push yourself back up into your seated position. And maybe open the eyes again. And come back to life. I find that it often takes a few moments for me to like really get back into a normal mindset after practicing, which is good. Just allow yourself the time to do so. If you have a meditation practice, now is a very good time to do it. As I'm always saying, yoga was intended as a way to prepare the body and mind for a meditation practice. So feel free to take some moments to yourself here. As always, as I already said, I'm so grateful to share this with you guys, and thank you so much for coming here, especially for yourselves first and foremost, because the more you practice positivity and love towards yourself, the more you have to give to others. So that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining Loving Stretch. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and please take very good care. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. Bye.